Inflammation is at the root cause of many diseases out there, from unwanted weight gain to serious conditions out there. There are 7 amazing foods that have been proven through research to lower inflammation, help you burn fat, and to prevent chronic disease, and in some cases, reverse chronic disease. And I'm gonna share all 7 of these amazing foods with you today. Now, many of the foods on my list may surprise you and shock you, especially if you're used to getting your nutrition advice from mainstream sources and government nutrition guidelines, because this is gonna be probably the opposite of what you have been taught before. Not only will I share these 7 foods with you, I'll give you research in the notes down below to back it up and the best ways to use these foods. Let's get started with the first one, eggs with the yolk. I get it, we've been told that eggs cause heart disease, it raises your cholesterol levels, it is not healthy for you. That can't be farther from the truth. Eggs are Mother Nature's multivitamin. You know what's really cool about eggs? They contain the perfect 1-to-1 ratio by mass of protein to fat. And this, my friends, is ideal. Eggs are quick to make, they're easy, they're convenient, you could take it with you on the go, you could have it in between meals to keep hunger at bay, and you could have them pretty much for any meal, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Eggs are loaded with essential nutrients. They contain vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. Eggs are a good source of vitamin B12, which helps with stress. Vitamin D, which is not just a vitamin, but a steroid hormone. Vitamin A, which is great for eye health. Eggs also contain a good amount of riboflavin, selenium, phosphorus, among other incredible nutrients. Eggs contain lutein and zeaxanthin, which are 2 really powerful antioxidants that support eye health. These nutrients are also really important to reduce the risk of macular degeneration. So I say, an egg a day keeps the doctor away. There's some really cool research. One of these studies showed that daily egg consumption improved numerous health markers, especially those associated with insulin resistance, prediabetes, and diabetes. You can see here on the screen the study referenced that egg consumption may improve factors associated with glycemic control and insulin sensitivity in adults with pre- and type 2 diabetes. The study showed that blood samples were obtained to analyze lipid profile and biomarkers associated with glycemic control at all points. Now, what is glycemic control? That is controlling your blood sugar levels, and that is the key to lowering inflammation, burning fat, and extending your lifespan. The study showed that regular egg consumption resulted in improvements of a fasting blood glucose, which was significantly reduced by 4.4% at the final visit in the egg group. Suggested ways of consuming eggs: the runnier the yolk, the better. We want to avoid overcooking the eggs. For example, scrambling your eggs, probably not the best idea. The higher you heat these eggs, the longer you cook them, the more oxidized the fats get, and we don't want that. So the best way to consume your eggs would be soft scramble, soft boiled eggs, and hey, if you get a quality egg source, drink them raw in your protein shake, or just straight up, you could do it Rocky style. And lastly, sunny side eggs with the runny yolks are also a fantastic option. Next, we have grass-fed butter and ghee. Butter and ghee contain a healthy amount of saturated fats. Saturated fats are not the boogeyman you've been told to believe that is unhealthy for you. They're actually the building blocks of your cells. You have 70 trillion cells inside of your body, and every single cell has a protective layer around it called the cell membrane. And if we looked at the physiology of how these membranes are, what they're made of, protein, saturated fat, and cholesterol. You are made of saturated fat. Eating high quality saturated fats give your cells the building blocks it needs to hear hormones and burn fat, to hear hormones and produce energy, and to lower oxidative stress. Grass-fed butter and ghee contain essential nutrients that include all fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K, and they contain them in the proper ratios. Ghee and butter also contain conjugated linoleic acid, CLA, which has been shown in research studies to help burn belly fat. These fats also contain a good amount of omega-3 fatty acids, which we know are anti-inflammatory. These nutrients, along with others in grass-fed butter and ghee, have been proven to support immune system function, support bone health, and heart health. The best way to consume your butter and ghee is to use them to cook your foods in. The eggs we just mentioned as being the first healthy food here, cook your eggs in butter and ghee. Additionally, you could put a tablespoon or 2 of butter or ghee in your coffee and tea, mix it in, tastes terrific, and it turns your brain on for immediate focus and clarity, and it gives you a boost of energy. Now, if you're sensitive to dairy, which a lot of people are, then ghee will be the better option here, because with ghee, you're removing the lactose and it makes it easier to digest. My favorite brands for grass-fed butter and ghee include Kerrygold grass-fed butter and Fourth and Heart grass-fed ghee. You could find both at most supermarkets. Next on the list here is grass-fed beef and lamb, red meat. I know, we've been told red meat is not good for you. It causes colon cancer and heart disease and cancer in general. All of that is nonsense. When you look at all the studies out there that show a correlation between red meat consumption and diseases, what they're not showing you, or probably what you didn't see, is that it's a result of the beef and the processed carbs and bad fats they cook the beef in. It's not the burger that is the problem, it's the bun that holds the actual burger. The burger alone, the red meat, is really healthy for you. Beef and lamb are high quality protein sources, and the significance of animal-based protein versus plant-based proteins is that animal-based protein, like beef and lamb, are complete proteins. Your body assimilates these amino acids and uses those amino acids, and your mitochondria, which help you burn fat and produce energy, love high quality amino acids. You will not get the same high quality amino acids by eating plant-based proteins. Plant-based proteins are not complete. Sure, you can mix different plant-based proteins and make it complete, but you're also consuming those plant-based proteins with anti-nutrients that lock in a lot of the benefits. With beef and lamb, there are no anti-nutrients. It's highly absorbable. It's great for the gut. It's great for fat loss. And the high quality protein in beef and lamb activates certain hormones and chemicals like cholecystokinin, peptide YY, and leptin, which prevents you from overeating. Think about it this way. Let's say you're at a restaurant and you order a 16-ounce ribeye steak, fat and protein. You eat that and you are stuffed. You are full because of all the amazing chemicals that take place to help you feel full with protein and fat. And the server says, well, I'm so impressed, you ate the whole steak. The restaurant owner said he's going to give you another 16-ounce steak. Well, you're gonna say, there's no way I could eat that now, I'll take it with me to go. But if that same waiter came by with a dessert tray or with some soda or some processed carbohydrate option, sure, there's room for that. Why? Because processed carbs do not activate those satiety signals that protein and fat activate. Red meat and lamb contain a good amount of zinc and vitamin B12. Zinc is important for immune health and for boosting testosterone levels, and also for wound healing. Great for diabetics, by the way. Red meat contains heme iron. There are two types of iron. Non-heme iron, which you would find in green leafy vegetables, which is not absorbable. It has a very low percentage of what is actually absorbed as iron. And then heme iron, which is highly absorbable, which you find in red meat and lamb. This is important for individuals who have low levels of iron, especially menstruating women, as it helps to maintain healthy red blood cells and prevents weakness and fatigue. I personally do a carnivore diet from time to time, and I recently just did 90 days of just red meat. It transformed my health. I got better sleep, I lost 16 pounds, I dropped 6% body fat. It helped with my energy and my focus. It helped with my workouts. And those are some of the things you would expect when you start to eat more red meat and lamb. When you're cooking your red meat and lamb, the redder, the better. We do not want to eat red meat that is well done. When you cook it well done, you're losing a lot of the benefits and the nutrients that I just outlined. We want some redness in the middle. So we want to eat either medium rare to rare, and make sure you get a quality source of red meat and lamb. I personally get mine from Wild Pastures, and you could get your box of Wild Pastures grass-fed, grass-finished, clean, animal-based proteins and seafood delivered to your door by going to ketocampmeat.com. I'll put a link for that down below. There's a huge discount for you as well. Next, we have coconut oil. If you ask your regular conventional doctor or most of your friends, they're gonna say coconut oil, too much saturated fat, not good for you, it's going to kill you. And it is true. Coconuts do kill people. About 150 people die each year from coconuts falling on their head. That is an actual stat. With coconut oil, you don't have to worry about that. Coconut oil is extremely beneficial for fat loss and energy production. Coconut oil contains a good amount of MCTs. MCTs stand for medium chain triglycerides. And there are different long chain triglycerides, short chain triglycerides. These are medium chain. The benefits of consuming medium chain fats is that it bypasses digestion. You don't have to produce bile from the liver to break it down. It doesn't mix with stomach acid. It goes directly into your cells, and your mitochondria use it as an energy source, and you burn fat, you produce energy, and you feel good. That's why when you consume coconut oil, you notice an energy boost almost immediately. Coconut oil also contains antifungal and antimicrobial properties. Lauric acid, which is found in coconut oil, is a predominant fatty acid that combats harmful bacteria, fungi, and also viruses. Additionally, a lot of people use coconut oil to help with skin health, anti-aging benefits, and wound healing. A lot of people use something called coconut pulling, where you put a tablespoon or two of coconut oil in your mouth and just swoosh it around for 15 to 20 minutes and spit it out. It helps clean out that oral microbiome because of the antifungal and antimicrobial properties that it contains. The best way is to get your coconut oil in a glass bottle and make sure it's organic and unrefined. You could use coconut oil to cook your foods in. If you choose to fry foods, although that's not the best option, coconut oil would be considered a better option to fry foods in as well. A lot of people will use coconut oil in their coffee and tea. I personally do as well. It's a great way to add some energy into that coffee to help with fat loss and to also help with mental clarity. About a tablespoon in your coffee or tea should do the trick. Next we have olive oil. Olive oil is heart healthy. Olive oil is rich in monounsaturated fats, particularly a fat called oleic acid, which has been known from research for its heart healthy properties. When you consume a good amount of olive oil, research suggests that it could lower the small particle LDL, which is the bad cholesterol, and can raise the HDL particles, which protects your heart health. The antioxidant and anti-inflammatory compounds found in olive oil protect you against oxidative stress and inflammation. Olive oil contains an abundant amount of antioxidants, which include a very important antioxidant for cell membrane health, which is vitamin E. It also contains other polyphenols that act as free radical scavengers, which looks for free radicals, inflammation in your body, and it essentially zaps it. The oleocanthals found in olive oil also is important for brain health. We know that these neurodegenerative conditions like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's and dementia are on the rise, and what better way to protect brain function and lower inflammation in the brain by consuming oleocanthals that are richly found in olive oil. When it comes to purchasing olive oil, there's some things you really want to know about. A lot of the olive oil in your grocery store is already rancid or maybe even cut with an inflammatory seed oil. So here's what you want to do. You want to do the olive oil taste test. I'm going to do this right with you right now. What you want to do is go to your pantry if you have a bottle of olive oil already and you want to grab it. I personally have my favorite one from the Fresh Pressed Olive Oil Club. You want to uncap it. It is important to make sure it's in a dark glass bottle. You never want to get olive oil in a clear or a plastic bottle. And then you want to take a little shot glass or any cup and pour about, a tablespoon or so of olive oil into the shot glass and take a shot. And then you want to see what happens next. As you can just see what happened to me, it burned my throat, made my tongue a little fuzzy, and sometimes makes you even cough. That is a good sign. That means that olive oil is loaded with those antioxidants and polyphenols that I just outlined. It should burn your throat. It should make your tongue fuzzy. It should potentially make you cough. That means it's a high quality olive oil. But if you took that shot of your olive oil and it went down smooth and you didn't notice anything, chances are it's cut with the seed oil or it's already rancid. So make sure you get a high quality, organic, unrefined, cold pressed olive oil to get all the benefits I just mentioned. If you want to get what I believe is the healthiest, best tasting olive oil in the world from the Fresh Pressed Olive Oil Club, you can get a $39 bottle like this right here for $1 by going to ketocampoliveoil.com or clicking the link in the notes down below. Number 6, we have wild-caught salmon. Wild-caught salmon is high in omega-3 fatty acids, which we just established is anti-inflammatory. Wild-caught salmon contains a good amount of EPA and DHA, which is really important for brain function, heart function, eye function. I much prefer getting EPA and DHA from fatty fish like wild-caught salmon versus fish oil. I am not a fan of fish oil. Fish oil causes more inflammation and more harm than it does to help you, because what happens when you extract the oil from a fish, it's very unstable. That mixes with your body temperature and stomach acid. It makes it more unstable. And research shows that 83% of fish oil is rancid on the shelf before you even consume it. But when you eat the actual fish, you don't have to worry about those issues. Your body will use it. It is not unstable. It is not oxidized. It is very healthy for you. Wild-caught fish contains a good amount of minerals, B vitamins, selenium, vitamin D, and potassium. All of these nutrients play a vital role in your immune system, lowering inflammation, brain health, and blasting belly fat. We want to make sure it is wild caught. If it's farmed fish, farmed salmon, there are some issues with that. Farm salmon has been shown to contain a high amount of something called PCBs, which stand for polychlorinated biphenyls. PCBs are known to be carcinogenic. Most farm fish are fed GMO corn, soybean oil, canola oil, wheat, and other animal byproducts. Farm fish is naturally gray, so what they do is they add a pink dye to make it look more natural. Farm fish also could contain a high amount of antibiotics as well. So make sure you're getting wild-caught fish. I get Alaskan sockeye salmon from Wild Pastures over at KetoCampMeat.com. The last food on the list here is going to be bone broth. Bone broth has so many benefits. One of my favorite benefits of bone broth is what it does to heal your intestinal lining. Most people have leaky gut. What exactly does that mean? Well, that means your intestinal barrier, your digestive system, has a tightly controlled system to keep food and minerals and vitamins intact, so your body uses it and assimilates it, you burn fat, you lower inflammation. When you have leaky gut, the tight junctions in your digestive tract have opened up, and now food particles go undigested, unabsorbed, and they enter your bloodstream. When that happens time after time, it puts your immune system on high alert. So now the immune system is distracted against other important things like preventing cancer, preventing you from getting sick, and it's focused on that food particle. It's essentially poop in your bloodstream. I know that sounds wicked. And if that continues to happen, it leads to an overactive immune system that's called autoimmune disease. And there are over 100 autoimmune diseases out there, with an additional 40 diseases associated to autoimmune disease. And it all starts in the gut. Hippocrates knew this a very long time ago when he said, all disease begins in the gut. He was spot on. Now with bone broth, it is easily recognized and absorbed by your body. Bone broth contains a good amount of collagen and gelatin, the base material of our cells that are responsible for cellular regeneration and repair. This may also support skin, hair, and joint health. The gelatin found in bone broth has been shown to protect and heal that mucosal lining, that tight junction area. It can also aid in the growth of good bacteria and lower inflammation inside of your digestive system. Due to its high concentration of minerals and vitamins, bone broth is also an excellent way to support your immune system. It can help combat cold and flu symptoms by boosting your white blood cell count, the body's immune system cells. Cool thing about bone broth is that it's readily available at the supermarket. There's a lot of brands and companies out there, and it's just heated up or drink it cold. Some people do that. You can make your own bone broth, which takes some time. I personally purchased mine and just heat it up and drink it. Just be cautious, because not all brands that produce bone broths are going to get you the benefits that I just spoke about. A lot of them are contaminated. My 3 favorite brands for bone broth include Kettle & Fire, Beauty in the Broth, and Bonafide Provisions. I do have a link for Kettle & Fire. I'll drop that down below with the coupon code for you to get their bone broth. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out the previous video I just released on the 7 best foods to clear your arteries, raise HDL cholesterol in your body, and prevent heart disease. I'm gonna be sharing with you the best foods that will raise HDL in your body and clear those arteries. Before we get to the list of those foods I want you to incorporate, let's start with the foods to remove that actually cause arterial blockages.